Anyway, please go on.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard him do the air review. Don said that he didn't like Mark Strong in the UK version. He said that he sounded awful. Yeah.
I will agree with that.
Wait, in the
Yeah.
UK version of which show?
Huh?
Arrietty,
Uh,
the Studio Ghibli movie.
I have not
yeah.
seen the Ariete dub. I've seen Ariete in Japanese, and
I've seen the US and the UK dub. I prefer the UK dub.
they have. I don't know, because the thing is, I get that the Borrowers was always an English thing. The Borrowers is always about being very English, and
Yeah.
it's a very
Oh,
English.
wow.
It's extremely English. The whole manners of it.
Then it was made into an American movie that had nothing to do with the original book.
Yeah. Although there was the BBC, one recently. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
It had Christopher Eccleston in it as
Hmm.
yeah, it's Christopher
Okay.
Eccleston as Pod, and I wish they spent more time with him. Like they did a lot of stuff. They did the whole Ariete storyline, but Pod's storyline was always funnier and always more interesting. I like Christopher Eccleston stole the show on that one. Um, Actually, last year as well. Anyone interested in Morecambe and Wise, try and look for a BBC drama, like an hour and a half or something, called Eric and Ernie. It's outstanding. Anyway, back to Madoka Magica. Um, yeah, like I just think that the whole point of it was oh, return to Mahou Shoujo style, and then 3 weeks in suddenly pull out the big death and make it pretty gruesome and like sudden, and it's just like wow, the surprise of that has made me love this.
Decapitation!
I know, but I wasn't surprised because it did the obligatory. Because everyone was surprised by it, apart from me. Because that when they do the whole "I have a partner now," they're gonna die. Like if there's a moment where they are happy, and when they are that happy that someone understands them, it's always when someone understands them they die. Anyone here seen Ride Back?
Do.
I am going to help with this revolution. I am your friend who will also help, but you have run away and I can't find you. I think I have now found my true reason to ride a ride back. I hope I can ride with you as a team in future. She dies immediately after saying that, which is basically the Madoka Magica problem. And also, they didn't characterize the character they killed enough for me to care. It constantly makes me think they want me to care more than I currently do at that point. Like it's just kind of just like you must understand these characters. Do you relate to them?
But I
No.
think another way they try to characterize the characters when they get to the plot twists in the middle of the series, they characterize her a little bit more in these alternate
It
universes.
was very
So,
although there is a list of I have on my other hard drive a list of episodes of just things which I don't have a top 10 anime list, but I do have a 10 episodes from God list. I'm not even religious, but I'm sure if I was, they would be from him. Um, the 10 great episodes, and oh yeah, and yeah, episodes that just resonate with me. Um, and like in there's stuff like episode 25 of Phantom, and the first episode where they kiss on Romeo X Juliet, because that bit was so well done. Um, it's often very much scenes, but episode 10, I think, which is called the loop back episode. Uh, Homura's episode. The Homura episode called Loop Back, where it shows her origin. That was one of the
yeah, that
best
was it.
things I've ever seen.
I have to agree.
That was so well done. Although then they had that like in episode 11 they did the most ridiculous fight with Homura ever, and half of it was so unexplained. It was just like, well, okay, that's too ridiculous for me to believe. Like at least in the loopback episode, how she was getting stuff was kind of believable. And on this, there are SAM missile turrets coming up from under the ocean. What? It was great and it was beautifully animated, and it was great to see that apparently the entire ground floor of the town had been replaced with C4. And also, how is the entire point of she's protecting this city when you can tell that every inhabitant in the city, including Madoka's mother, most likely died? And then
Oh Jesus.
And then there was that
Shit.
scene. Oh, also there was also that scene where like Madoka's mother and the teacher were talking to each other, and it was like, "You care for these characters, don't you? You want to know what they think. I don't. I saw them for like 5 minutes and didn't care. You know, you. That's the thing. The series makes me. The series thinks if you've seen someone for a second, you care for them, but you don't. They don't characterize the characters enough to care for them. Like, I don't like the girl with the blue hair that much. I thought her whole thing with the brother was just getting annoying after a while.
No, actually, well, that wasn't her brother. That was the boy she had a crush on.
It wasn't even a brother.
No, it wasn't her brother.
And so this episode's reason is incest is horrible.
I thought that was a brother
His
because it was like,
no, his name's Kaiyosuke Kamijio.
right.
Kamijio?
I think the sub I had was terrible then. Wait a minute. Oh, it was Funimation sub. Oh,
And her name is Sayaka
screw
Miiki.
you,
Or
Funny.
Mikey.
I hate Funimation so much now.
Damn.
Their subs are horrible, though. Have you seen their No Wayne sub? It's hilarious. There are scenes in which people.
Yeah, there's a male character who's voiced by a female.
Oh no! I mean their sub. In No Wayne, one of their subs is. Okay, literally, there is a scene where one of them is just shouting "Kurasu!" and the other one's shouting "You!"
Yeah,
Happens
I'm
5 times
leaving.
either way. Okay, see ya.
Rob, I'll talk to you later.
Bye, Sean. Sean's going.
I'm Captain Hate Boner Sama. Okay, bye.
Okay, but I hate Boner. We'll be finishing in a minute anyway. Yeah, but they say it like 5 times either way, so it's just like Kurasu, you, Kurasu. It's basically Falcor Atreyu. Um, but basically, what happens is, in the subs, they're going crazy. Whoever was typing the subs is doing a whole conversation. Just like, Karasu, don't leave me. You, I'll never leave you. Karasu, I hope that you have a wonderful day today and have a parasol. You, I have put on my suntan lotion and going to the beach. It's just like, okay, you go with that. And it's like, but they do it on more than one occasion. Now, I'm not sure if that's to cover up with what they would make that, because it's some of the writing's repetitive, they may call that bad writing and therefore try and get rid of it. But it just seems very odd that they would go to such an extent to cover up something that even people who aren't Japanese would have figured out.
I first saw Noeen on Annie Mondays on Sci-Fi when it was still called Sci-Fi instead of Siffy.
Specific.
The
did,
safety channel.
did they change the name then? Like, did they change it?
Yeah, the Siffy.
So it was originally
S-
so it was originally SCI-FI, and now it's
Sci-Fi.
SY-FY,
SCI-FI.
and now it's
No, it's SCYFY.
Safety.
Sifi. Welcome to the Sifi channel.
Yeah, because do they still do anime Mondays there? Oh,
I don't know. I don't get that channel. I don't know if we get that channel in the UK, so
No, we don't. Anime Mondays.
I never seen it. I haven't seen it in like 3 years, so.
Anime Mondays.
I guess they don't.
Ooh, it was I remember seeing Toko on there also.
Hmm.
I like the opening song. Shiny get
Oh, the first.
get.
I still think they should have changed the opening to Madoka. Do your first 3 cutesy episodes. You're in a different arc now. Change the opening.
Yeah, I kind of like Connect at the beginning, but when it got to the death scene, they should have really changed to something a little bit darker instead of just being all
Yeah.
cutesy. Like, hey, everything's gonna be alright.
I know it sounds really harsh, but it's like, what? Everyone asked me why did I continue watching that show. There was one reason, only one, and it was Calafina. Because Calafina are my second favorite band in the whole wide world. Well, like very close second. But they did. Have you heard of Karaoke Okai, Garden of Sinners?
I'm sorry, no.
They did the entire. Okay, wait. In actually, I think some of the soundtrack was actually taken from Karaoke Okai. because I played some of it, and one of the people whose thing was like, "Wow, that's really similar." I think they took some of the rhythms and stuff, apart from Ryogi's theme, because that's kind of copyright. But or at least that's Ryogi's theme. But anyway, um, Calafina, they're this mixture of a girl band and like an orchestra solely spirit sounding group. It's really obscure music they do. Um, but like when they went to the witches and then like you had sort of well they did the ending theme to Madoka Magica, but every time they went into a witch zone, you heard that really awesome music where it was like a mixture of rock and violin and they're singing.
Yeah.
That's Calafina, and that's a real Calafina staple. Karano Kyokai, Garden of Sinners, they did the entire soundtrack for all 7 films. It still stands as one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard because it's just amazing. But I think that was one of the problems that they had 2 sound people on Madoka Magica because the thing is they had 2 people and they made like 20 songs, but they reused them constantly, and the only one that was ever memorable was Calafina's one, and then they abused it because they realized that that was the case. It was just like, no, okay, we get it. We want more Calafina. We don't want 2 Calafina songs. We want just get Calafina to do the whole soundtrack. They did it with Karen Kyokai. They can easily carry this. You don't need to have switching. And it's a shame because every time I went to a witch zone, I wanted to hear a new Calafina theme, but I was hearing the same one. And I was getting, I was just like, this is great, but I've seen Karaoke Okai where every single sound is individual. The only thing that's the same is melodies. Because what they did on that was every soundtrack um, was different, like beats and how it was done, all that sort of thing. But for each character, they had a melodic movement. And because Ryoga Shiki's main character is the one you see the most fight or anything like that, everyone knows hers because it's like da 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 da. But like slow scenes with her where she's sad. The piano do do do. It's like wow, that's her theme. And then fight scenes, really like high paced, like do 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 do. And then in the background, just like whoa 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 whoa, like wow, Ryoki's theme. And Calafina are so good at that. And then you're constantly like, I want a Madoka's theme, but you don't get it. You get the Witch's Cry, which is what that song is called, which is played in every witch zone. And it's just like, stop it. We don't need more witch zones. We just want to hear more Calafina.